Oh, you fabulous folk. Welcome back to another fabulous Friday here at Disinformed After Dark. I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
And in case you are uninitiated, we host a fabulous little podcast called the Disinformed Podcast, which flees from your preferred provider app every single Monday. And we discuss random esoteric topics and we lie about them. It's really entertaining.
It's a gas.
Most of the time.
Trust me. Unless
Telling
it's
you
about
the truth. I mean it.
the occasional hollow-eyed children that were fostered by Will.i.am.
True.
Oh
True.
my God. I'll say it again.
So this is kind of our companion video cast where we throw out a little decompression from the week's episode, and then we will stray into a Chuck Klosterman minefield later on in the episode. But for right now, we're going to go to John's absolute favorite moment of the week, which is the TikTok Fun Fact Science Corner.
Except this week we have OG content.
Indeed.
And the content was made by none other than Mr. Miguel Clarke.
Indeed. OG? Squee!
Jeez.
So if you haven't listened to this week's episode proper,
why?
Go listen to at least the first 10 minutes because you'll hear the story about how Courtney is not to be messed with. And how she has no understanding of sarcasm, but she does understand when people are trying to check her. And nobody puts Courtney in a corner. So I feel like that's enough fanfare. Let me get my screen pulled up here. And
it's difficult to do as you get older. It's a problem many men have.
Well, bless you for saying so. Well, here is what Michael sent.
So apparently you can male bees. Live bees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knew? Apparently Courtney.
Firstly,
is that some gray in your hair there, bud?
It probably is. I don't
You're looking like a salt and pepper dream, my friend.
you are also to be commended for your energy level because you were like mid-death sequence at that point as well.
He really was. Well, then we also have a follow-up which was sent shortly after.
Don't get stung. Okay, this is me releasing the bees, and hopefully I don't get stung.
I'm a famous YouTuber, by the way, guys.
Riveting.
Or just hang around the wood.
Like how you can see your stupid flip-flop right here.
It looks like some of them didn't really make it, but
Some of them had died.
yeah, I'll probably come back for this wood later.
Famous last words. So I recall that was what his girlfriend said at the bar.
I'll come back for you
I'm
later.
going to come back for this wood later.
So, Courtney, do you want to reiterate again that these are ethically sourced?
Well, now that he said some of them are dead, Jesus.
There were a couple of fatalities, but I mean, like they were shipped from
Fatality.
Texas.
Speaking of Mortal
I don't know.
Kombat,
Yeah.
These bees were ethically sourced. They were fully planned on being released. I guess some of them died in transport. Thanks for telling me that, Michael. Now I'm upset. But some people do order these bees to use them to treat Lyme disease, so they get killed sometimes. And we did not intentionally kill any bees in the making of pranking Michael.
No, that was not the intention nor the result.
They just did what they do best. Die.
so when PETA comes for this podcast,
I'm ready.
I'm pointing the fingers at some a pair of people, in fact.
It's going to be really hard to catch me in my baby seal leather boots.
I slip and slide to victory.
Sure. Okay. I slide around on the blood of all the animals I've sacrificed.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, Let's see if we can get any more incendiary, shall we? I have a Chuck Klosterman hypothetical for
Oh,
this.
God.
We
It's like,
have a good track
he's
record.
the
with it.
man. Yeah.
I will also state, and we have discussed this off air, but I finally broke the box and checked, and we have 8 remaining hypotheticals from the original box.
Never thought it would happen.
And then we get to move on to supertheticals.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, I wonder if they're super incendiary.
Super offensive.
You can only
Ooh.
imagine.
Super well written.
Hooray.
And super redundant.
They got 10 paragraphs instead of only 6 paragraphs describing one sentence worth of information.
Well, just wait, because you haven't seen today's card yet.
Well, let's do it.
Oh, no.
Today's topic is the unknown companion.
I hope
Who
there's
is
at
it?
least 10 or 10 sentences just explaining that the person is not known to you and you don't know who they are.
He was a sad panda.
Like a stranger on a bus.
Oh, no.
At the age of 30, you suffer a blow to the skull.
Oh,
If
man.
only.
The head trauma leaves you with a rare form of partial amnesia, though you are otherwise fine. You're completely missing 5 years of your life. You have no memory of anything that happened between the ages of 23 and 28. That period of your life is completely gone.
Not a waste. There's nothing lost there.
Let him finish.
Sorry.
So, you are told by friends and family that when you were 25, you supposedly became close friends with someone you met on the street. You possess numerous photos of you and this person, and everyone in your life insists that this individual was your best friend for more than 2 years. You were allegedly inseparable. In fact, you find several old letters and emails from this person that vaguely indicate that you may have even shared a brief romantic relationship. But something happened between you and this individual when you were 27, and the friendship abruptly ended. And apparently you never told anyone what caused this schism, so it remains a mystery to all. The friend moved away soon after the incident, wholly disappearing from your day-to-day life. But you have no memory of any of this. Let me reiterate. No recollection whatsoever.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, amnesia.
In fact,
Oh.
you could scarcely recall this with a gun to your head. I'm including this just to toy with
Oh,
Michael now.
okay. I was gonna say, is he really saying this? Because I
Well, wait, because here comes the next actual written line.
Oh,
Within the
goodness.
context of your own mind, this person never even existed.
Oh.
that's what I've been waiting for.
There
Oh,
is,
kind of like amnesia.
yeah, strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Wait,
that
what?
word they used in the second sentence of this card.
Hello?
Strange. Yeah. Within.
So I don't remember who they are,
Yes,
nor my
correct.
interactions with them.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah, it's almost as if they never existed to you.
Huh.
There is tangible proof that you deeply loved this friend, but whenever you look at his or her photograph, all you see is a stranger. So this is basically most of my exes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
6
Who are you
weeks.
people?
6 weeks after your. Who are you people? 6 weeks after your accident, you are informed that this person has suddenly died.
Yikes.
How sad do you feel?
What?
Okay. How
That
I didn't expect that to be the punchline, so I guess that's the point of these classrooms.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, and this, I don't know. I guess I'm playing the role of
I got
myself today.
whiplash.
I guess it depends on how much I connect to the emails and the letters and the pictures. You know,
By
like
that,
if
how
I, if-
often you jerked off to them, or
yeah, like is there any saucy pictures in there? No, I don't know. Like you can feel like I can read. Like I think a great example is the letter that we read on air of yours, Shane, from your high school gal, because that letter alone was just so remarkably cute and touching that if you would have told me a week after that individual had passed away, I would have been sad, and that wasn't even me directly related to the situation.
Yeah.
I think I would be a fair amount of sad, unless there was one email that I didn't see where we've, had the disconnect and you could see the person or myself being terrible and like what the fallout was. But I mean, death is usually sad unless you're, well, let's not go into politics here. There's that meme where it's "Don't speak ill of the dead" is one card, but then like the Trump Yu-Gi-Oh card and the Yu-Gi-Oh meme is "Don't be an asshole while you're alive." So that's kind of how I approach most sensitive situations. Is, were you just an awful person? And that'll probably impact whether or not I feel any way about you passing.
Yeah, there's an old country saying of everything that he does gets blamed right on him. And fairly accurate.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the reference, but I think I understand the point.
Yeah. So you learn through your messages, through your history, that you briefly shared some sort of romantic issue, or you hear from other people.
I think my answer, to keep it short and sweet to the point.
You already
of the show,
gave your answer.
I was gonna say I'm probably sad. I'm probably sad.
I was like, what are you, me?
I
You have to summarize your point like 10 different times?
To summarize my summarization, I'm probably upset.
John, you're usually sad. I mean, this is not a change.
It doesn't take a lot.
Yeah. All right. Michael, to your point, what they're saying in a very long-winded and roundabout way is there is not anyone who is really familiar with what occurred other than you and this person, and you have no recollection of it, and they are no longer above ground. So it is somewhat lost to the ether.
I mean, it would be hard for me to, if I can't recall, then I wouldn't have any context as to my relationship with this person other than the footprints, the fossils, what's left
Yes.
over.
What, and this is just whatever you choose it to be. Maybe
Yeah.
you did discover some correspondence. Maybe there's just photographic evidence of the two of you hanging out. Like, it can be anything you want. There's no wrong answer here. So just run how you want.
Putting it back into how I deal with social media, which is I don't, because I'm too lazy to do with that, there would be no real proof. Thinking about like all of my interactions with pretty much even you guys for the last couple of years, if I can't access like Facebook or even like any of those things, or just based off the random, like the little bit here and there, I wouldn't have any context. I wouldn't really have any sort of emotional connection to this person.
Fine. Don't shed a tear for me.
I mean, unless I read our group chats, in which case I would probably just be embarrassed for myself.
In which case you'd probably celebrate the passing.
F that guy. I almost did it. I almost said it. But yeah, no, I wouldn't really have any emotional connection. If it, essentially I'm taking this as, you don't remember the last 5 years of your life, or don't remember this span of time. The only sort of recollection that you have comes from your social medias or asking other friends. Would you feel sorry for this person? Or would you feel bad that this person passed? And based off of how I use social media, I would not. Just because I don't really use it. Because I'm old-fashioned.
Noted.
Yes.
All right. So there's no tangible impact whatsoever. You exist within a very defined horse blinder, socially speaking.
Yeah.
Courtney?
Well, first of all, I get 2 more years to do whatever I want, and then I'm going to forget them later. Like, that's kind of cool.
It's a win-win.
I
So-
mean, you will still have to take those pills, though.
It's fine. I'm not Kristen, so there's that. I think I would be disappointed to never know what happened, but I don't know how sad I would be. More in the sense of like, I would want to know the ending to the story, and the little bits would be like, oh, like it seemed like something was good here, but I think having forgotten the actual impact and that physical feeling towards them, and then knowing that they were gone, I don't know that I would be sad or super sad necessarily, as much as just like you put down a book before you get to the end and you never know how it ends. And I think that would be the part that would haunt me.
Ambiguity will be the death of us all.
Yeah. Wow. There you go. I like that one.
I actually just teased this week completely unwittingly. In a random moment, John can attest to this because he's actually seen both pictorial and written evidence of the fact that, particularly when I was younger, my mind was very much a steel trap. I had a lot of really excellent retention. So I can remember particular instances of meeting somebody for the first time and the first interaction I had and kind of the nuances of the situation. And this happened a lot. And thankfully, that hasn't entirely left me as I'm starting to crest into an older age, being the ripe old age of 78 now. And
Yes.
so I feel like, one, to lose that sort of aspect of my personality would be really painful for me, because that's a lot of my connective tissue to people. And that is not just emotionally in the sense that I would feel a bond or a fondness with someone, but also my enemies list would just be obliterated. And I need those little pains to keep me motivated.
Mm-hmm.
But long story short, too bloody late, I was actually scrolling through Facebook Messenger. I won't digress too far. My mom's phone was dying and she was desperate not to lose everything. And I was like, well, listen, this is all in the cloud, basically. This exists elsewhere. It's not tied to your phone. It's not tethered. So go get another one. You'll be fine. And so then I start flipping back, and I went back all the way to when I signed up for Facebook, which was,
Wow.
pretty soon after its inception. And I start looking through my correspondence. And I have a pretty significant amount of correspondence with people who I have not thought of in, as evidenced by this thing, probably 16 to 17 years. So then looking back at my exchanges with people, there were folks who my selective amnesia had kicked in on. And I was like, oh, wow, now I'm really, really embarrassed at how I used to conduct myself. And then that well just kind of continued to get deeper. And this is with me having not suffered any sort of, cranial trauma. So I imagine I would have, being me, just reams and reams of correspondence with this person if they are my best friend, because I'm usually more inclined to, chat or via text as opposed to telephone calls. I can't stand being on the phone.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
As
you and I
John
have
has
walls of
said.
text. Yeah.
So, I have a feeling I would be very mournful because I would have a significant amount of interaction with someone who I was that close with. And so that loss would be something that I think I would almost feel more acutely because I wouldn't have any of the good reminiscence to recall. I would just get to read back with weird correspondence between myself and this individual and sort of feel the pang of what was, the 51st dates of it all, probably.
Right. And it's not like amnesia takes away what you would have said.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like, or it doesn't change, like it doesn't retroactively like change who you were as a person then. So
Right.
to your credit there, like you're reading back and you're like, yep, these are definitely things that I said. Even if I want to combat it, this is 100% how my brain works. And I know that these are the things that I've said. So you can probably put yourself empathetically back into your shoes quicker because of that.
And what's worse is kind of akin to what you were talking about with the letter earlier. Like you'll see things that you remember about yourself that are very true to your nature, whether you remember specific instances or not. You're like, well, that sounds like me.
Oh yeah, it happens to this day, like with random small things. You're like, I remember when you said that. I was like, nope, but I totally know that I did. Super on brand.
Yep. For instance, an individual who I dated, I've told this story before, but for those of you on the podcast who have never heard this, I went shopping with a young lady because we as consenting adults had gone out on a date and were planning on enjoying the evening to its fullest.
Yes.
But I was lacking, prophylactics. And so we went to Walmart and then digressed into a debate amongst, whether or not we should buy something else because it's creepy to just be the couple walking up to the checkout kind of. This is long before we really got into the self-check swing. of like walking up to Walmart and just tossing condoms down in front of the person. She's like, we got to buy something else. We need to buy something else. So being me, I was like, well, I need toilet paper and milk. And so I'll just grab those things and then we go
All
up.
of a sudden, you grocery shopped for your week.
Yep. So we get up to the counter. We're going through the checkout. And here comes a gallon of milk, a weekender pack of condoms, and a like 4-pack of toilet paper. And you can see my date is very uncomfortable. And the checkout clerk kind of gives me this look, and I was like, yeah, that's right. I'm going to pour that on her and then use the toilet paper to clean it up. Now, if you told me that story in a written context and I read it, I'd be like, even if I didn't remember, I was like, yeah, that sounds like me.
Yep, that's me.
Checks out. So yeah, I think it would be a horrible thing to lose.
Yeah.
That said, I have one more thing for the After Dark, and then we're going to call it quits. Does that sound reasonable to everybody?
Sounds good to me.
Give it
What
to
do you
me.
got?
John had a request that he wished for me to fulfill,
Oh, no.
and so I'm going to provide it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my voicemail. I'm not going to, the quality is horrible, so if I were to play it on here, it would just sound ghastly. So I wrote it
A
out.
recreation, if
Yes.
you will.
A creative fan fiction of me. You have reached Shane Hunt, songwriter, poet, thespian, and general malcontent. If you are prepared to deal with the consequences of your actions, you are cordially invited to sing your song at the beep.
Beep. Hey, Shane, this is your girlfriend from when you were 25. And I might die soon, but I just wanted to let you know that I love you very much, despite all the things that you did that I don't want to say on a recorded device.
Hope you enjoyed the herpes.
By the way, this is not, Slosh is not my name.
I really love that, solicitors then call and the cute ones will attempt to actually start, hello, Shane Hunt. I want to sell you AT&T long distance. Like, yeah.
You're like, well, you get a few points for trying. But I'm never going to return your call.
Yeah.
Also, hey, in case random person that's watching, I'm never going to pick up your call. If it's a 623 number, I'm not picking up. If it's a 480 number, I'm not picking up.
Yep.
If it's
If
any
it's not
number.
saved in my phone, I'm not picking up.
It's the old Clint Eastwood line. I forget what the film was, but it's like, where is it written every time the phone rings that I have to drop what I'm doing and answer it?
Yeah. Also, that was a pretty good Eastwood.
Yeah.
You gotta ask yourself one question, John.
Did
Do
you
you
live?
feel cocky?
Did you laugh?
There you.
Did you lie?
Well, thank you all
Did
for
you
being
love?
here for another emotionally stirring and yet somewhat amnesiac edition of Disinformed After Dark. We sincerely appreciate you being here. And if you're enjoying what you're hearing, Michael has got an instruction for you.
You can smash that like button right probably here somewhere around there. You
Missed
can
it.
also leave a like and a comment and subscribe, I guess. Yeah.
Or leave your lover.
Leave your lover and join us.
We should be loving each other's lovers.
Exactly.
If you can't leave the one you love, leave the one you're with, I suppose. So we have plenty of content that's winging your way every single wonderful week, including a brand new podcast episode every single Monday morning, and then a fan fiction read here on the Tubes of You every single wacky Wednesday. And there's going to be plenty of interesting things winging your way in the next little while as we create another script for a full-on fanfic. We guarantee we're going to keep it interesting.
Oh.
And of course, every phenomenal Friday, we are back here for Disinformed After Dark. So if you enjoyed what you saw today, you can do it every single week with us. And so, you should ring that bell, because then you'll get a reminder of when our material premieres, so that you don't miss a single solitary second of it.
Ooh-wee.
I just want you to know who I am.
Thank you. I see in the
Hello.
iris of your eyes. So for Disinformed After Dark this week, debuting at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, I am Kenton Eldorado.
I am a Timothy Lone Cactus.
And I am Robert Greer.
Oh, man.
And I'm Jean Grey Ghost.
Friends and neighbors, always remember to live, laugh, and lie.